Hi, it's Jamie with Garage Kings here. Just going to walk you through this video on a metallic floor that we did. Um, as you saw, we were mixing the metallics by hand. I prefer doing that with metallics because it creates less air in it, and when you're not drilling it, the speed of the drill at which you mix it decreases your working time. And when I'm working with metallics, the longer I work with it, the better. So I just poured it out on the ground, and we're just going over the entire floor. There's already a coat or two down there. One thing a lot of people don't think about is layering your colors. You know, it's not about um, one layer. It's about, cool, what am I going to do the first layer? What am I going to do the second layer? And possibly the third layer. And going semi-translucent on your layers so that the colors from each layer kind of shine through. Notice that the floor is all kind of a matte finish. In between each coat of a metallic floor, it's really good to take a floor buffer and go over the entire floor, screen it, even if it's under 24 hours. It'll make the floor flatter, and if there's any imperfections in the floor, it'll really level it out so that you get a better glass finish at the end. Always clean it really well before you're ready to put your coat down, and yeah, it's always amazing, like, especially the first time you do a metallic floor, when you scratch it all up and you're thinking, there is no way that this thing is going to go up to that nice, beautiful shine that it had beforehand. So you're kind of reluctant to scratch it up. But don't worry, it's amazing. Epoxy is a phenomenal product. Whenever you scratch it up and everything else, it's amazing how it hides the imperfections and accents the really cool aspects of the floor. The thicker you go with your epoxy makes a huge difference on the uh, depth level that you're going to get on it. So I typically always go about 3 times thicker with a metallic than I would like a regular epoxy, just so that you get that extra depth. So basically, I spread it all out now. Now I took my magic trowel and I turned it upside down. The reason for that is you're less likely to pierce down farther into the coating when it's upside down. So if you do accidentally put a little bit too much pressure on it, when it's upside down, the blade is at an angle that is not going to go straight to the bottom. This is a small area, so I got tons of working time. I like to work in pretty much 300 square foot sections at a time with metallics and go from there. When I'm doing inside a customer's house, um, I try never to use tape on the walls if I don't have to. A reason for that is you got to pull it off right away, and you could pull dust onto the coating. Plus, if you do it correctly, you should be able to get up extremely close without having to put any tape on there. So, and if you leave the tape on there, I think everybody that has done an epoxy floor before knows that if you leave tape, it's going to stick, and it is difficult to get out the next day. So you got to use a razor blade, and it can take you 3 times longer to remove the tape than it did to actually put down the coating. So whenever possible, try to stick away from tape, but sometimes it is necessary, just like everything else. So epoxy coatings do level themselves really well, but again, it's good to do it quickly and then get off it quickly, depending on what you want to look. If you want more of your lines to show, then you can stay on it a little bit longer. If you want it to be more glass-like, then get off it sooner. So right now I'm just doing my edge with my magic trowel and just double checking. Even though we cleaned that floor really well, as you're doing your last few passes, double check to make sure that there's nothing in that finish. The goal is to get 97% of the floor or better perfect. You'll never get 100%. There'll always be something, especially with larger areas, that you're not going to be 100% happy with. But when you're selling metallic floors or as a customer, if you're thinking about getting one, you got to realize these are not perfect. A lot of the pictures will make them look a lot better than they really are because you're seeing it from far away. But if you're up there and up close, you know there could be little minor imperfections, or there's areas that you like better than other areas. So it's organic. Even though you're doing the same thing 2 or 3 times, you're always going to get a little bit different look to it. But overall, you can control it really well. People that know what they're doing can give you a phenomenal floor. So all I'm doing right now is I'm just going over it, I think, one last time, just to help even it out and double check to make sure that there's nothing on that floor. Also, if you got ventilation systems or anything else, air movement is bad for coatings, so keep the air movement down to a minimum. So if you do have a central or something like that, if you can keep that off during the time of the coating, that will help give you a better finish. And also, keep away from it. If it's in another room, don't open the door and keep taking a look at it. Give it that 24 hours. So there you can see the coating after it's done. Um, it just looks great with that embedded sticker in it and everything else, and you get a really nice three-dimensional look with that floor. This is Jamie with Garage Kings, and I hope you enjoyed it.